just getting us all seated in our chairs.
Often the hardest part.
There you go.
Let's see, do I have anyone here who works for me?
Yeah.
Kevin, can I just give you this? Come sit at the table, Kevin. Sit. Be part of it. Okay, want to kick us off, Megan?
Yes, I would love to. So first of all, welcome to the governor, welcome to Chair Conley. As I said to both of them when they walked in, boy do we know this is a very busy time of year for you all and for our students. Boy does it send an important sign of respect that you've made time to come. So we really appreciate the effort. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
What I thought we would do is just very quickly have the students introduce themselves, tell you all a little bit about who they are and what they're doing at the college. And before I do that, I just want us in the midst of all this sort of frenetic activity to just take a moment to pause and think about where we are as a state, where we are as an institution. So what we will mark as the Community College of Rhode Island on May 16th is the largest graduation this college has ever seen. And when I think about how we got there because of everybody in this room. We got there because we had a governor who said, I believe this opportunity should be made available to our students. We got there because people like Chair Conley believed in the program and supported it being launched at the college. And at the end of the day, we got there because of students like the ones you're about to meet. They have worked their tails off over the last 2 years, and they truly represent what this college is and what we're all about. So I have to say, I don't think I've had a happier day since coming to the community college, and I'm excited to get going. So with that, I'll kick it over to you, Governor, and the students can introduce themselves.
Great, okay, well, thank you, President Hughes. I'm sorry, guys, this is a little awkward. Yes, we're accommodating our friends here, but just chill out and relax and, don't pretend they're not here. And we just are here to get to know you a little bit and hear your stories. This is Chairman Conley. He's an incredibly important person in the State House. He's in the Senate, and he chairs the Finance Committee. Turns out this program, costs a little money, so it's good to have him here. But the truth of the matter is, first of all, I'm very proud of you, because what you're doing is hard. And so I want you to know that it's hard and that we're here because we care about you, we believe in you, and we're proud of you. Second of all, I was making a joke about the money, but I think of it as an investment. Like, we want you to get good jobs. And in order to get good jobs, you got to get this degree. So, and I know that's hard. And the hardest part of it shouldn't be paying the bills. So we're trying to make it a little easier for you. But today, we want to know, is this program working? Tell us about it. Why are you here? Would you be here if you didn't have the scholarship? What do you think you want to do after you've graduated? What's your experience been like at CCRI? Just try to be as open as you can with us, because we're on your team, and we want to make sure you're successful. And frankly, I talk to employers every day. They want to hire you. So we just have to make sure that you've got the skills you need to get those jobs. Before I turn, Andres, that's your name. Before I turn it over to you, why don't you offer a few introductory remarks?
Sure, thank you, Governor. And again, thank you for being here today. As the Governor just said, we really are proud of you. We know it's hard work. And besides that hard work, we know that you're already in that point in your life when you're starting to take on other responsibilities. And what a challenge it is. And see right there, you're always in demand.
Literally just shook me up to my core.
And we know that you're starting to take on other responsibilities in your life as well. Doing the hard work that it takes to succeed here at CCRI, balancing those other responsibilities is a challenge that we understand and that we want to help you with. So thank you for being here. I always tell my Senate colleagues that what we do best in the Senate is listen, because by listening we learn. So I'm here this morning to listen to you, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you. Over to you. Tell us who you are.
So I'm Andres Escobar. I'm a first generation Salvadoran American. My parents immigrated here to the United States in the 1990s. And they always kind of pushed me to pursue higher education. my sister graduated from classical high school, you guys know, back in Providence. And so while I was growing up, I wanted to be just like my older sister. I wanted to go to classical high school, wanted to graduate from there, one of the best schools in Rhode Island. And the only thing was, like, taking the exam, getting in there, and it kind of was a little bit of a daunting task because having like my parents rely so heavily on me to pursue their dreams of like being an educated man. Like they didn't get the opportunity to do that when they were back in El Salvador. Neither of them did. So I went to classical, graduated from there last year, transferred over about like 30-something AP credits to the Community College of Rhode Island. Here, when I got here, I spoke to a bunch of different advisors and I was like, hey, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly what career path I want to pursue. And here, I just need like the means of doing it. And when I was applying to schools last year, trying to figure out like where I wanted to go and like if I could afford any of it, I was like, this is kind of scary because it's like the numbers are like upwards 60 grand and it's like, my parents can afford this. I mean, my mom and my dad, they separated when I was pretty young, like around 8 years old. So money had always been a huge thing on us. It was either like we had to like make ends meet, trying to pay bills, and sometimes money wasn't, like money was super scarce all the time. And even though they really wanted me to go to college, I was like, how am I going to do this if we can't afford it? What should I do? And then when I was applying to schools last year, I spoke to one of my counselors and he was like, oh, CCRI is free for 2 years if you go. If you apply now, it's available to you because of the Rhode Island Promise program. And I was like, I kind of don't want to do that, but it sounds like a really big deal. Like, free college for 2 years, sounds phenomenal. You stay here in Rhode Island, which is something I really wanted to do because it's like extremely diverse here. Going from Providence, which is a little like diverse bubble, and going to classical high school, which is an even more diverse bubble, and then coming here where it's extremely diverse, I was like, it's great, it's free. I have access to a bunch of resources, like my Rhode Island Promise program advisor, one of the coolest people I've ever met. Made everything so much easier for me, both academically and emotionally. And like I said, the whole part of the coming to school for free was a huge thing for me. And just like not having to worry about having to pay bills just because I wanted to continue my education. So I came here and I was like, I want to transfer after my 2 years here, get everything I need to do done. Go to either Brown, Northeastern, Boston College. I remember like getting the weird looks from my counselors. They were like, oh, you want to shoot that high? And I was like, yeah, I want to shoot that high. I want to go to Brown. I want to go to Northeastern. I want to go to Boston College. And so I worked super hard both semesters, and because I transferred over so many credits from high school, I'm graduating this May after just being here for a year with a 4.0. And I mean, it's been a rough ride, but I know this is something I really want. I know that I want to continue studying, and I know I want to go into like foreign service and become a U.S. diplomat. And I just plan on studying political science and international relations while in school. That's, yeah, the whole thing has been made super easy because I came here.
Thank
which
you.
is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Olivia?
If I just could say something,
Yeah,
Andre, just
of
want to note, I'm really excited that you're talking about Boston College. I wore my BC colors today to honor this day in that way, so I'm really excited to hear
Okay,
about
yeah, we
it.
don't
Sorry
need
to
There you
interrupt.
go.
Olivia.
So hi, my name is Olivia Nugent.
We have time.
I've been here at CCRI since 2017, so I'm one of the first Promise students here.
Excuse me, Mark.
And I am graduating this May as well with a general studies degree with a concentration in film and a certificate in post-production for film and TV. I'm from SK. I graduated South Kingston High School in 2017, but I'm originally from Virginia. And from a lot of other places. My dad was in the military, so I'm a little bit of a military brat. And I've known pretty much since I knew what college was that I wanted to go there. My mother is a doctor from the United Kingdom, and my father actually joined the military so that he could pursue an education. So I knew that having an education was something that was really important to me and something that I really wanted to do, both to make my family proud and to make myself proud. The Promise scholarship has meant so much to me, as it allowed me to pursue a general studies degree, which is mainly general ed credits that I would need to take anywhere. And especially as a middle-class family, we didn't qualify for Pell Grants, and I wasn't eligible for half the scholarships out there because we made a little too much money, but not enough that I could actually afford to go to college without scholarships and without grants. So the Promise scholarship, it took me without any bias against financial eligibility, and now I feel more confident and able to go to a four-year college and be able to pay for the 2 years of college that are going to be focused on what I want to do, which is film and media, and not just a history credit or two. I've absolutely loved being here at CCRI. I didn't even consider it an option when I first came to Rhode Island. I didn't even know what it was. But once they announced, the Promise scholarship, I was like, that is an excellent opportunity, and I've seen it change so many people in my life. I have friends that weren't even going to go to college because it's too expensive, or they didn't want to move away from home, and now they're graduating with me with degrees. And now they're excited to go to a four-year college because they know that, college, it's not a big scary place, and it's a wonderful place to learn and a wonderful place to grow.
Thank you.
Anita Marie.
I'm Anita Marie Mott. From a very young age, I've always wanted to pursue a career in veterinary, so I've always wanted that. My goal as a young child, I wanted to go to Cornell University. I wanted to do all 8 years at Cornell, but my parents were a little concerned on the money, so we decided that I would do community college and then go from there. I graduated as a homeschool student, so I didn't go to public school in high school, so being able to have this Rhode Island Promise scholarship it's great for me. My parents live on a fixed income, so it's very hard to pay for an education for the field I would like to go into. So I am graduating this May with my general studies and concentration in the JAA to animal science pre-veterinary at URI. And my main goal is to still go to Cornell University, but after URI, so it would kind of be less of a burden on myself and my parents for the money. So this is definitely something I would have never thought of I would receive, to be able to get a general degree for my first 2 years at community college for almost nothing. So it's been a great help on my family and myself.
So Andrew, just before we move to you, for the chair and the governor, the JAA that Anita Marie is referencing is that transfer pathway from the Community College of Rhode Island, either into Rhode Island College or into the University of Rhode Island. So a really good way for students who know that the career they want will require completing at one of those institutions.
So before I introduce myself, I just want to thank Peter and Amy for organizing this event, this meeting. I want to thank everyone for coming here. I want to thank Sarah Enright for allowing me to be here, and my advisor, Michael Basilio, who also allowed me to be here. My name is Andrew Lee. I'm a first-year Promise Plus student. I graduated last year from college or high school, class of 2018. My current major is general studies, but I intend to major in finance in either URI, Rick, or maybe even Brown. I definitely want to stay in state. I'm the current director of administration of student government here on the Knight campus. I'm a tutor at the Success Center. I tutor chemistry, math, and microeconomics, and I'm a CCRI player. I performed in a play recently, and I hope to perform in many more here. So the college education to me, regardless of where I would go, is just an opportunity of unlimited opportunities where you can join clubs, participate in events, and you meet new people. You strengthen these relationships, you see new perspectives, and through that it alters your way of thinking, and it makes you realize, especially with your financial burden and Promise Scholarship, that you want to focus your future more on making an impact rather than how am I going to pay these student loans off. So I think it was a really great thing for me to pursue Promise, because it allows my mom, because I have a single mother, so it allows my mom to focus more on saving up for retirement, and in that way I don't have to worry about our future. I can worry about mine and she can worry about hers. And if I was to go to out of state school, I would be in debt and my mom would have to worry about me. So I'm just glad that it was a good decision that benefits my family. And that's it.
Andrew, thank you so much. We have 2 more students and then we'll get to the conversation. So we've got Davila and Christina. Davila, why don't we move to you first, and then we'll finish up with Christina and we'll get to the conversation.
Hello everyone, my name is Davila Jack. This is my first year attending the community college of Rhode Island. I attend the Liston campus. And I graduated from Academy for Career Inspiration last year. And within the Promise program, I have had many opportunities. Being able to bond with my advisor, Jason. He has brought me many opportunities in the school, as well as connecting with other students and meeting with Sarah. Being able to talk at the State House on the Promise program. And having the Promise program, it benefited me because it gave me, I can say, more confidence, because I wasn't really a confident person. I wasn't able to go out and speak to many people, and speak in front of crowds. I used to be really scared, and so I'm surprised. And within being the Promise program, it helped me with my classes. It helped me meet with other students, and being able to be one-on-one with an advisor. It helped me. And pushed me for the better. So having my advisor help me in my classes, it helped me get a 3.9, and it also helped me be involved on campus. So right now I'm running for student president on the Liston campus, and with him being the Promise program, it really gave me more confidence, and it just helped me be more involved.
Where do you live?
In Providence.
What do you think you would have done if there were no Promise?
I definitely think I still would have attended the CCRI and probably just tried to find more scholarships to help me pay out of the loan.
Yeah.
So my name is Christina LaPaglia. I am a 2017 Cherhoe graduate. I actually live in South Kingstown, so I was there. I know Olivia, I know people coming in here. So I graduated from Cherhoe, and I ended up coming to CCRI. It was going to be my plan regardless, but this helped me out just a little bit more. Before I get into any details, two very important things that kind of define me. One is my family's market. We have a little market in Charlestown, Rhode Island, and it is what I see myself doing in the future. And the other thing is I am the vice president of the Rhode Island FFA Association. A while back, myself and one of my teammates were actually at the State House, and we were there for Ag Day, and that was such an awesome opportunity, meeting all the different businesses, all the different people, and I really did appreciate that. And so those 2 major things in my life have really guided me. Right now I'm here at CCRI for Environmental Science Management with the JA program to transfer to URI. And so that's my major. My minor when I go will be business because of that market. But one of the main things that I would really like to advocate with this Rhode Island Promise is the opportunity that it gave me. I do need to save some more money, given, but the money that I saved, I actually took a trip to Africa with the National FFA organization. It was an opportunity that really let me expand some more of my knowledge of different cultures, different areas. And so it was just such a cool thing to just dive into. Never would have expected to do something like this. Never would have expected to be able to even be here today without certain things like this. And coming to CCRI, it really did help me. as I mentioned, I was going to be here regardless. I planned to come here. I did apply to URI, but this was where I was going to start. I have 3 older brothers. 2 of them have come here as well. I was lucky enough to kind of get that opportunity with the Rhode Island Promise. So it was just, I don't even know how to express the gratitude of this program. It was just such an amazing, amazing thing that could have been presented. And with this now, I've been saving up my money the past 2 years for URI, for when I go there. It's just been just that one little step getting me closer to what I would really like for the future, which is that market that my family has. It's just my dream, really is.
So do you have a job now? Do you work?
I do. So I work at the Breachway Bar and Grill in Charlestown, and I also work at Rude Awakenings. Doing that currently, and then in the summer I will also be at my family's market doing some house cleaning, and just kind of, I keep myself very busy. So always working, always doing, yeah.
How about the rest of you guys? Do you have jobs? Where do you guys work?
I'm a bartender at the Wild Colonial in downtown Providence.
Oh, come see you.
I'm liking you better every minute.
Good.
Come on down.
As long as you keep our secrets, like every good bartender should.
I work here at the college in the film production studio, and then I also work for my dad, who owns a real estate business. I'm his photographer.
I currently don't work at the moment, but I plan on going to veterinary clinics and working so I can get some more experience in the field that I will be going into.
I'm currently a tutor, and I work part-time at the Spain restaurant in Narragansett, and I'm hoping to be an orientation leader this summer here at CCRI.
Can you guys give us a sense? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you?
I'm a child care assistant at the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. So you're all going to school full-time and then fit this in the second. One of the things that we hear when we're plugging for this program is, well, it's free, basically, and then why do kids have to work also? So what do you do with the money that you make from the Wild Colonial? What are your other expenses? What are you having to pay on other things?
So my whole thing as to why I'm working while also being a full-time student is like for lack of a better word, I don't want to be a financial burden or an even more financial burden on the rest of my family. I have a younger sister who goes to Hope High School. She's hoping to go into the military, and I just want to make it easier for my mom. And it's always nice to have a little bit of like spending money sometimes. And I'm also saving up to go, like whenever I have to put down my deposit for the next 4-year university I go to, or and just paying that off in case let's just say I don't get enough scholarships to cover the full cost of it, I'll have some money saved up already to be able to pay it.
Do you guys have cars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mainly, I just save all my money. I have a clear account that says, "Do not spend this." It's all for college.
The money I get most of my money from scholarships. So I save that up for general expenses and supplies, and when I put down my deposit for URI, it's definitely a big one.
And I like to save most of my money, like around like 60 or 70%. I just like to invest. Actually, I don't even save, I just invest it in stocks.
You're young.
I'm also I want to be a finance major, so I have to get started early.
Good for you guys. What's the hardest part about college so far?
Who wants to take that?
I'll take that.
All right.
Figuring out my schedule, like I have work and I have a social life, I have friends, I have family, I'm taking 6 classes a semester, I'm an 18 credit student, but then I have work again. So, and then like I have work to do outside of class at home. So one of the hardest things is like being able to manage my own time and like tell myself, okay, I have 30 minutes, do I take it for myself, like self-care day, or do I like do my homework? And if I don't do my homework and I do like self-care, like how is that gonna come back and bite me later on? And so it's always like weighing like the pros and cons of like either doing my work or like not doing it at a specific time. So it's like I think the hardest part for me was like time management and just fitting everything into my own schedule.
That's the biggest thing to learn in college, but you're getting a 4.0 and holding down a job, so whatever you do,
It's
stick
when
with
it's
it.
working, but yeah.
That's interesting. We all struggle, I can speak for myself, that is the biggest challenge in college, how to fit it all in. It's a key skill to learn for life,
Right.
like in your job. You have the job, it's a juggle.
Mhm.
You have a family, you have a job, you have
Right.
other stuff. So if you can learn that now, that's one of the most important things you learn, I think.
I also have to completely agree with Andres, and I think another challenge I faced going to here, and I would have challenged anywhere wherever I went to college, is just because you're with so many people, and it's really just learning how to like talk to them. I mean, that sounds really like basic, but I learned that everybody, I saw like a quote somewhere that like everybody's an expert at something. I mean, you know so much about veterinary science. Over there at the far end, she's the vice president of FFA. Like, all you gotta do is talk to people, and you learn so much. Like, I learned about equestrian. You know, I coming here, I didn't even know what equestrian was. I learned about practical fish keeping. I didn't know that was a thing. And then I also learned about like the economic crisis in South Africa, which is I didn't know existed by someone who's actually lived it. So like all you gotta do is just talk to people and find out to listen more, and you can learn so much.
So now we know how hard it is. We know the challenge you face. For anybody, what's been the most inspiring experience you've had here?
The most inspiring experience I have had was my very first semester here in Foundations for Video and Media class. I was the only girl in that whole class. There was 5 other boys, and they all, grouped together, did all their projects together. I was left on the side. But my wonderful professor, Sandra Sneesby, she completely took me under her wing. I was so ready to quit. I was so ready to be like, oh, film, it's all a boys club, and I can't do it. But she was like, no, of course not. You can totally do it. And we're already seeing now. We have an increase of women directors, women in production, and all of that. And she just really inspired me to stick it out and become, one of the newest women in film.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Anything else?
The deal is that one. I think the most inspiring is probably making connections on campus because every professor I've had so far, I just make sure to talk to them one-on-one just to get a better feel, just to know them better. And making those connections on campus really helped me in the long run because I got to be involved in many opportunities on campus because of the connections I made.
I think the most inspiring moment here on campus was when I was tutoring a student. I was tutoring math, and you don't expect to learn from tutoring, but one of the students I tutored brought up a book that he'd been reading called How to Make Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and I've been reading that. I'm halfway through it, but I reread every chapter, and this is within the past 2 weeks, and it's completely changing my life. I feel like without that book, without talking to that student, without taking his advice, I wouldn't have been here. It wasn't just the book, it was just a student, because you never know when you're going to learn, and you learn all the time here.
That is a classic book.
It is a
Read it 10
classic.
times.
I'm gonna read it 10 times.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that one of the most inspiring things of being here, or just attending college, specifically here, is being able to tell my parents, hey, I'm doing this thing that I'm going beyond what they ever thought they'd be able to do themselves. And being a person of color, being a first generation American, and being the first in my family to go to college, if I'm going into uncharted territories, and at times it feels like they can't really help me, but I know that they're there supporting me regardless. My mom, she's always I don't know what any of this means, but I'm there rooting for you no matter what. My mom only speaks Spanish, so there's always my first language is Spanish, so being able to translate everything made everything a lot easier, but also there are things FAFSA terminology is not easy to translate. There were things Exactly. So I was I don't know what this means in English English, and how am I supposed to translate it to my mom? So just being able to say like, Mom, like I'm doing this and I'm okay. And I mean, at times it feels like I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing something right. So I think being able to say like, Mom, this is my dream and I'm accomplishing it. Like this feels great and it feels awesome.
Your sister who went to classical, what did she do after classical?
She took a gap year and then she went to Europe. This is the program, and she went straight into like the workforce and just started working, which is extremely inspiring. And I was like, I want to do that, but I know that's not for me. Like I want to go to four-year university, and I'm always like so proud of you for being able to do that. She does want to come back to school too, so I'm like, come on down to CCRI, like I'm here, and yeah, that's basically it.
If I could jump in really quick. So one of the things, it was like a year and a half ago, my best friend, yeah, she kind of just sent a text message, and she's like, Christina, you're going to be seeing me. What are you talking about, Kayla? She's like, I'm going to go to CC. And it was so just like heartwarming to know that like my best friend was still going to be there. And she did the same thing just a few weeks ago. She'd be like, you're going to be seeing me at URI. and so like she followed through with this program. And even currently, we had, my boyfriend had his advisors helping him. And he's from Colorado, and he's here now. And he's loving it here. And just to see the change in people, it was so awesome just to be able to see the positive impact it's having. So I really love to see that kind of change that you can clearly see through these just different people. And of course with making connections, like that it's crucial just to, be able to talk to people, connect with them in any way. So I really like seeing that. It was inspiring for sure.
You guys love it here. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you all seem to love it.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, like, I'm kind of bummed that I have to leave, like, this May, like, that just sounds, like, I really was expecting to be here for a full 2 years, and then they were like, oh no, you have to apply to colleges all over again because you're graduating this year. And I was like, what? I literally just got here, what's going on? But yeah, I love being here, I love the campus, I've made so many friends. I mean, I've got Christina over there, I'm meeting you guys. I love it here, yeah.
I have a question, and then maybe while I'm asking it, some of you may have questions for either Chair Conley or for the governor, so we probably have time for a couple of those with your permission. I think about what Christina was talking about, sort of how inspired she was by a friend who followed her really to CCRI. If you have either a younger sibling or a friend who was just behind you in high school, right now they're just about to cross their own graduation stage. What would you want them to know, and what would you say to them about the college and about the Promise?
If I can jump in?
Yeah.
So with FFA, I do a lot of chapter visits, so I travel to the different chapters in Rhode Island who offer FFA, and I talk to those seniors, and I'm like, so what's your plan for the future? And they'll tell me some want to go into the military. There's this one girl, she wants to go into the DEM, and I would talk to her, she goes, oh, I'll go to URI. Have you considered CCRI? And even when I'm going to these chapter visits, I'll promote it because it was such an awesome opportunity that I don't see why other people shouldn't just jump on it. So even when I go